Jimbo. In the words of the once great Bill O'Reilly, fuck it, we'll do it live. Welcome everybody to the countdown. It's your boy King. That's your good friend Jimbo right over there. And we are, of course, Stay Tuned Sports. This is the countdown, your NFL Power Rankings countdown show spectacular that we're trying to do that maybe 5 people watch. But we're going to increase that, hopefully, maybe, somehow. I have no idea. You know what I found out? And like looking around and like trying to like, how do I get people to watch my fucking channel? Apparently, there's a big thing going on between like YouTube, Twitch, and everything like that of people like have like view bots where they're like having like these and they're sent there by like the companies to do it and like the advertisers so that they get like it's a weird thing, but it's like a whole bunch of these people who all of a sudden like you're like, oh, how do they get so many people? It's like they're not real viewers. So, listen, if you're a robot, come watch us. I don't give a shit at this point. Well, watch us. Get us there. Anyway, if you like what you're watching, please like, share, subscribe. Especially if you're a first-time viewer and you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. But all the likes, sharing, get more people to watch, and hitting that subscribe button helps us out tremendously with the algorithm. If you want to help us out in a little bit more tangible fashion, we have a link for our donation station and our merch store in the top of the chat room, which is open right now. Come in, say hi, hello, and how are you doing? I don't know why I use that accent. I didn't. That was like an undefined accent. I have no idea what that was. It can't be racist because I don't know what it was. And of course, we have those same links down in the description below this video in case you're watching us not live. Again, this is the first time we're doing the countdown live this year. I don't know why I decided to do it. I guess because we were like, it's not going to change the viewership too much, so why not? Do it a little bored. Let's see what happens on this beautiful Monday. But hey, listen. The one thing I do know is that it is exactly 1 month from today that we have the NFL kickoff happening between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending champion. The defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. Actually, God, fucking disgusting. You know what? I don't know why, but like before the show came on, like I had a feeling like put your Giants jersey on. I was just going to wear, I had my Yankee shirt on. I was like, yeah, just wear the Yankee shirt. That's fine. Whatever. It's the middle of summer. The boys of summer. That's fine. Although the Yankees, oh, boy.
Oh, we won't talk baseball because I'm done with Baltimore.
Dude, I'm about done with the Yankees. Have you seen it? Dude, I've seen Little League teams run fucking bases better than these guys. What the fuck is going on with the Yankees? Oh, my God. Anyway.
Jeter and A-Rod ripped them apart.
And they, as well they should have. And God bless them for doing so. But there was just something in me. I was like, Where's something Giants? You're going to need something Giants on. And, of course, you're wearing that shitty goddamn disgusting. But yes, Cowboys, Eagles in 1 month from today. Speaking of the Cowboys, the Micah Parsons situation still ongoing, still has the end of the trade. There seems to be no movement there. Jerry Jones came out this weekend and said, I wouldn't lose no sleep about it. Don't worry, everybody. He's going to be fine. Just a negotiation tactic. And I've seen other people, mostly Cowboy fans, saying along the same things like, this is, what are we talking about where he's going to play next year? We know where he's going to play. He's playing here. He's going to get an absurd amount of money and he's going to play. Jimbo, you said you had particular odds on there are like FanDuel, DraftKings odds or whatever about that. By the way, FanDuel, if you want to go ahead and sponsor us for our 3 and 4 views per video, please go right ahead. That's fine. That'll help us out. Anyway, yes. So do you have those odds?
So Dallas was so plus means.
Well, yeah, it depends on where it is. Yeah, that's the money line.
So number one was, Dallas was a plus 300.
Okay, so it's still, you're still winning money if you bet on Dallas.
Philly is next in line at number 2, minus 1,000.
There's no chance. First of all, I want to know who's making those odds because he's fucking high. There's not a chance that Dallas is going to trade him to Philadelphia. Not a chance.
That's why there was that big gap there between.
I understand the big gap, but somebody else should be second place then at that point.
And then let me me pull it back up here. I screenshot it so I could keep it.
Okay, but I'm still fucking shocked at the fact that they have the Eagles as the second best odds. Granted, plus 1,000, not great odds in that sense, but like, how the fuck are you so the Cowboys are still the favorite and heavy favorite to have him from this point on. You know that he's going to go back to Dallas. Eagles are number 2. Now I'm fucking waiting with bated breath to see who fucking number 3 is, because I want to see what this odds maker's fucking saying. Because that doesn't seem to make any sense to me. Like, I would think Pittsburgh would be up there. If I'm picking them, I would say Pittsburgh would be up there. I would have Pittsburgh above the Philadelphia, because it is Pennsylvania's, and it would be, so he's going back to Pennsylvania. He's going back to his home state. It's on the other side, but it's also the other conference. It's AFC. If I'm Dallas, I'm not trading him, first of all, to anywhere in the NFC, and especially the fuck not the NFC East.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, so that's why the Eagles, the Giants, and the Redskins should not be anywhere on that fucking list.
Okay, so just the Eagles are on that list. This is via DraftKings.
Okay.
And it's on CBS Sports. So Cowboys minus 300, Eagles plus 100.
100 or 1,000? Okay.
1,000. Sorry about that. Patriots are plus 1,000.
I've heard about that.
Chargers are plus 1,500.
Okay.
You got Cardinals plus 1,600, as well as the Niners.
Cardinals. That's a surprise one. Dude,
yeah.
And you know me, I'm big on the Desert Birds. I love them. If they got Micah Parsons, oh my God, look at it. Look out for the birds. Okay, that's not what Cardinals sound like, but I don't care.
Plus 1,800 for the Rams. Plus 20. So the rest of all of these are all pluses. So 2,200 for the Panthers, 2,500 for the Jets and Raiders and Bears. That's I think 10 of them.
All right. Wait, were there Steelers on that list?
No.
Wow. I don't know about that. I don't know who's making those odds, but listen, Vegas knows. Vegas knows more than me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll defer to them. But the Eagles to have the second best odds to have Micah Parsons, to me, makes no sense. Unless Jerry wants to out Joe Shane. What the fuck is that even? Like, that shouldn't even be a thought process. And maybe it's not. Maybe Jerry's thinking, like he's saying, I don't worry about it as a negotiation tactic. But I'll say this. For the people out there saying, like, everybody needs to shut up. Mike is playing here. Don't worry about it. This situation hits differently than the Terry McLaurin situation. And like the Myles Garrett situation last year. Some of the other ones where we've seen where players have demanded a trade, and it's clearly that clearly is a negotiating tactic. Clearly hey, listen, I want a deal. They're not really being moving on it, so let's go. The Micah situation, to me, strikes me as he is done with Jerry. He's done with the organization. He's done with all of that because of how, as even he said in his notes app thing, how he let it go. Now, I remember, too, a couple years ago with Lamar, when he did that, he said goodbye to Baltimore, and he wrote the whole message and all that kind of stuff. But nothing in there was really, like, expressing, like, oh, well, I got fucked over by the front office, or I got stuff like that. That came off as, thank you so much, Baltimore. You fans have been great. It's been great. The next chapter is whatever, blah, blah, blah. But nothing in there was like, I've been wounded. I've been hurt by this organization. Again, it came off as a negotiating tactic, and it worked. It worked for Lamar.
Yeah.
The Micah situation and his particular notes app and everything that he said in that, there's wounds there. There's legitimate hurt because, like I said, like I was saying even before he came out with his message, like, just if you paid attention to the Micah situation, you saw him. Let them get theirs, I'll get mine. Let them get theirs, I'll eventually get mine. Don't worry about it, I'll get mine. I'm willing to do that for that. Sign Dak, get him done. Sign CD, we need him. It's okay, but I'll get mine eventually. My price is only going up anyway, so that's what it felt like. And then you see him in that message say basically all of those same things that has kind of been obvious to this point, and expressing the fact of how hurt he is, and how it's just like now at the end of all this waiting, now I'm being told, oh, am I really worth it? Because what if I just get injured again? Am I really worth it? Are any of these players really worth it with their injury for going out there and busting my ass and putting it on the line and doing that stuff? Now that's being told to me that's something that I did wrong. That's a problem. Everything that came across as, like a breakup note. Like, listen, I loved you. I've loved you since I was a kid. I've loved everything about the Star. I've loved me and my dad rooted for you when we were up in Pennsylvania. Imagine that, being a Cowboys fan in Eagles country, rooting. Oh, it's all this shit of just how much he wanted to play there, wanted to be a Cowboy, wanted to play football and be the best that he could be there, and how much he loved the fans and how much he loved, and everybody says that. But I mean, like, especially when it came to the relationship with the Cowboys, like, he loved the Cowboys. He wanted to be a Cowboy, and he was a Cowboy, and he was excited to be a Cowboy, and he wanted to spend the rest of his career there and be special there, and just it's been hurt after hurt after hurt after hurt after hurt. It comes off like a serious breakup note. Like, listen, I can't do this anymore. What if I give you another chance? You're just gonna hurt me again. And that's it. That's what it comes across as. So that's why I think this is different. This is not just a negotiating tactic. This is not just, if we throw him a lot. Like, I'm firmly convinced they could throw all the money at him, and he's still going to say, no, trade me, because I don't want to play for you anymore. I'm done with you as Jerry Jones, as the organization known as the Cowboys, of everything like that. I no longer want to play where I am considered so little. Yeah. And I have given so much. I do not want to play here. That's what it comes across as. And so everybody else saying like, oh, well, it's just one of those things where they ask for a trade and then he's going to get super overpaid and he'll stay. And this feels different. Now, listen, tomorrow he might sign with the Cowboys and I look like a fucking idiot. And that's fine. I'm used to looking like a fucking idiot. But again, like I said, this feels different enough to where I'm not like that, where I'm not like, hey, this might be something like it was with Myles Garrett last year, like we've seen with Terry McLaurin this year. Like I said, with Terry McLaurin, I still think Washington gets something done. I don't think that relationship is supremely bad. Like, especially if you're Terry, you got to realize, like, hey, it's not fucking Dan Snyder, all right? So we got something to work with here. Yeah. But I just don't. I don't think it's something that you can so easily write off. Or like Jerry says, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. It's just negotiation tactics. Like, it doesn't feel that way to me.
I think he's gonna re-sign with the Cowboys, but Parsons is gonna make an example out of Jerry Jones by not only like overpaying him, but like doubly overpaying.
But Jerry's done that twice already. He did it with Dak, and he did it with CeeDee Lamb.
But he overpaid them. Not what Parsons is going to do. He's going to suck.
And if we're already at this point, and especially with how Jerry likes to dick around with agents and dick around with, I don't want to talk to an agent. I'll talk to the player. I'll do that. Like, which is part of how all this started. As we saw with Micah, and has been notoriously known from Jerry from the beginning of time, how he likes to circumvent agents. It just feels, it doesn't feel like your regular trade request. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Is like, for the most 99.99999% of trade requests are, I want more money. This is the only leverage I have. Let me put it out there. Yeah. For Micah, like, he's already shown up to camp, so he can't leave. So he's there. I think he's doing a hold-in now. So like he's not going to be on a practice field, but he's there because he can't leave. Because if he leaves, then they can put him on a retired list, and then his season is done. The contract rolls. It's a whole mess. We went over this a couple shows ago. But yeah, like I to do that, to be as strongly worded as it was. Like, that's the other thing. It's not like, and that was the thing. At the end of the letter, he says, just to let everybody know, I I handed in my trade request personally to Steven Jones. Like he meant it. Like he wanted you to visualize him going, there's my trade request. Get me the fuck out of here. Yeah. Walking out the door, slam the door, window breaks. Like that was the feeling I got at the end of that letter. So I think that was the message he was trying to get along across to everybody. And to me, it feels like that. It does. It feels like this is done to me.
Now, if he comes out like a week from now and says, "Here it is, 7 days later, still no communication from the Cowboys," then I'll agree with you and be like, yeah, he's not coming back to Dallas.
Like part of me feels like it doesn't even matter at the communication point. Like what I'm saying is, like, even if Jerry starts now, I'm like, all right, I'll talk to the agent and we'll figure something out. Like Mike is gonna be like, that ship has sailed, brother. That ship is gone. Just like me. Get me out of here. Get all you can. I don't care. You can look for 2 1s and 2 2s and whatever, and get whatever you want to get from me. But I will not be wearing a star on my helmet at the start of this season. Part of that feels like that to me. Again, I could be stupid. Most likely am. Probably very stupid. But we've gone over that before. Phil, what do we got here? Finspin in the chat. The Mad Greek. How you doing, brother? Great to see you. He says Jerry Jones just wants the Cowboys press. He'll milk the spotlight for the next 2 or 3 weeks, then pay Micah, and everyone will sing the same harmonious tune that everything is peachy. See, that's what I'm saying. Is like there's a lot of people out there who think just like the Mad Greek here, that's going to be the case. That's where we're going with this. And normally, like with Terry McLaurin, that's what it feels like. Yeah. It feels like, I want to trade request. I'm done with this. I don't want to be here. I suffered through the Dan Snyder years. I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. Washington will pay him, probably overpay him a little bit from what, statistically he's worth, especially if you look at the Cortland Sutton contract. And then that's it. There'll be Peachy Keen. I love Jaden Daniels. I love the D.C. area. Can't wait to move forward with this and see the new stadium that's going to be there, and that's what I'm hoping to do. And that'll all happen. Like, that feels like that. The Micah Parsons situation with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys feels a whole lot different. And yes, Jerry does love manipulating the media. Jerry loves press, any kind of press for the Cowboys, good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. We know that about Jerry. He's big on just press, attention, loves it all. But something is striking me different about the Micah situation. And again, kind of like how I had the Chargers at 11, it's just a feeling. It's how it feels. It's how reading that notes app, that's what it came across at. Especially that end where he's like, I personally handed in my trade request to Steven Jones. Like he put the emphasis on that. Yeah. He wanted you to know. He put that on that son of a bitch's desk, smacked it right there. Said, I'm out. Peace. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out. That's what he did. Finspin in the chat says, outside looking in, but my forte is not Dallas. So take that with a grain of salt. Again, none of us really, we're all about the same equal, knowledgeable situation of Dallas because all the damn media does is cover fucking Dallas. Hey, where's Dallas going to finish this year? Who gives a shit at this point? But my forte is not Dallas, so take that with a grain of salt. I've watched Jerry Jones enough over the years to understand him, though. That's the thing. I think we all have. And I think we all understand where Jerry's coming from this point. What makes this different is where Mike is coming from at this point. Yeah. Jerry's still trying to play this off as everything is, it's just a negotiation tactic. It's just how we do. Don't worry about it. I think Micah has a different perspective on how he's looking at this situation. Anyway, we talked a lot about the Micah situation here. We talked a lot about that. But this is the countdown. We're talking about our top 5. By the way, spoiler alert. I don't know if anybody knows this, considering that it's a Giants fan and an Eagles fan. Cowboys are not in our top 12. I don't think this should be in a lot of people's top 12, to be honest with you. Yeah. Until they show something. They were very bad last year. They bring back basically the same team this year. I don't know. I just don't. I don't see it. Maybe I don't see something, But granted, it is what it is. But let's jump on over to the Stay Tuned Sports vertical board. And we can go ahead and break out the top 12 here. Bang. We've already got our first 7 picks here. Last week we had pick 6. But we started off, obviously, me and Jimbo both had the Packers at 12. Jimbo then has the Vikings at 11, the Rams at 10, the Chargers go, who had an impressive Hall of Fame game. I'll say that for Trey Lance. Not the Chargers, and I know it's a preseason game, so it doesn't really matter, blah, blah, blah. Trey Lance looked like a legitimate NFL backup quarterback in that game. So big ups to Trey for, Kyle Allen, on the other hand. Jimbo then has the Redskins at 8, the Buccaneers at 7, and the Broncos at 6. Again, we talked about how we had the Packers both at 12. I have the Chargers at 11 because they felt like it. I have the Redskins at 10, Vikings 9, Rams 8, Buccaneers 7, Broncos 7, and Buccaneers 6. Me and Jimbo have basically flip-flopped all our teams here up until this point. Every week, it's been the same teams, just flipped for some reason. We're weird like that. Yes, Packers at 12, ELS. You know that. Don't drop a fucking train on me, man. Come on. ELS also says simple answer to all of this. Micah's situation is fuck Dallas. That is the purest Green Bay analysis you will ever see about the Dallas situation. But okay, here we are. 5 weeks away. As I said, just a month, so it's actually like 4 before-ish. But the way we do it, because it's on Thursday, this happens on a Monday or Tuesday, so blah, blah, blah. 5. This is our 5. We got 5 more countdowns to go, this being the 5th. So it's really 4 more to go. I suck at numbers. Anyway, it's a countdown show. How can you suck at numbers? Well, you're watching it. Let's uncover it. Let's see who we have at number 5 here. Jimbo! He's got the Detroit Lions all the way there at 5 after, I wonder, did the preseason game have anything to do with this? No, it didn't. But still, Detroit Lions at 5 for Jimbo. I myself have the Buffalo Orchard Park Bills at number 5. Jimbo, the Lions. Impressive last year, considering they were a mash unit, got the number 1 seed, although they got the early exit in the divisional round by the Washington Redskins at home. You have them starting off this year at number 5. Why? Thought process.
Well, first, it's the Buffalo Bills, not the Buffalo Orchard Park Bills. Second, this is going to sound more of negative talk on Detroit than probably positive, but I think the loss of Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, their coordinators, that's really going to show, at least in the beginning of the season. Yes, they're getting Hutchinson back, but how much did he lose from that injury? How much, did he gain back from the injury? There's a lot of questions, I believe, for this team to going in, especially like you said, Kyle Allen did not look good. So if Stafford gets hurt, no, not Stafford. Stafford's with LA.
Yeah, you're thinking of Goff.
If Goff gets hurt,
that's that quality in-depth coverage you get here on Stay Tuned Sports. I don't know why I picked the teams I do, and Jimbo forgets the players got traded 4 years ago. There we are, baby. Woo! No wonder. We're top of the list on everybody's sports podcast agenda.
Poor Goff still getting shit on. And then when you guys see over the next 4 weeks the teams I have above Detroit, I just can't see Detroit being better than them. Like I said, with the coordinators being hired for head coaching jobs, a new coaching staff coming in, it's going to probably be the same somewhat system, but a little bit of tweaks. So how well is that offensive system, defensive system going to work out? So.
But that's the thing. When it comes to the Lions in that situation, I think when you have someone with as strong leadership skills as Dan Campbell, and you have like the biggest thing Dan Campbell did was change the culture. The culture in Detroit now is so much different than it ever was. It's a culture now where you're expected to play well. You're expected to be good. And even if other people doubt you, even if pieces leave, some people say, oh, how are you going to do good if this player's not there, or this player's injured, or you lost this coordinator, all that. Like, Dan Campbell has set that in people's mind of, that's all outside bullshit noise. What matters is what you do here what we do here. And as long as you put in the work, you go 110%, you put in everything that you got, and you play your best, we'll be at our best. And you saw that last year with how much they were injured, how many different key injuries they had. Hutchinson obviously being one of the biggest ones, but like I think they had 4 or 5 linebackers deep injured because they were pulling guys off the fucking street to play linebacker for them, and they won that game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like when you look at those things and what they're able to do in that kind of situation, they got the number 1 seed being more injured, I think, than the San Francisco 49ers, who everybody's like, oh, well, San Francisco, oh, they always get on year, off year when they're injured. So some years they're good when they're injured. Detroit took the injuries that San Francisco usually gets and still were the number 1 seed. Yeah. So in my mind, like it's hard for me to place the Lions maybe as low as 5. Spoiler alert, they are somewhere there in the top 4, clearly now that I've let that cat out of the bag. Wow. Hamster loves when I do a little cat roar. I don't know why. It's starting to worry me. It does concern me a little bit. I did it once as a joke, and now he keeps on saying, do the roar. I don't know. Anyway.
For me.
This show went off the rails like the last week. Let's try to stay back on the rails here. I picked the Buffalo Bills as my number 5 team, and it would seem weird why, because I see that kind of a same situation. The Bills, again, they have the James Cook situation going on, so is what it is. Again, that's another thing where he's holding in. Hasn't made the trade request yet, I don't think, but that'll probably come up at some point. But again, I think that's purely negotiation. He wants more money for his relatively productive, I guess. I don't know. I still look at the AFC as, God, it really is a razor thin line between where some of these teams end up. Like who could you put at 5 and 4 and 3 and whatever when you're going between the Bills and the Ravens and the Chiefs, and you're looking at all these different things there. Where do you put them? When you look at it, and not only that, but like also like the NFC teams there, like I've talked about, obviously the Lions are in there somewhere. Obviously the Eagles are in there somewhere. So it's like when you get to the top of the list here, the margins for where these teams end up become so thin in my mind. Anyway, because again, as we've gone over and over again here, it goes by how I feel. We're not a very statistics-based show, not very analytical. We will look at it. We'll see, hey, this is ranked there, that, whatever. I know I had somebody in the comments from a while ago pissed off in our Friday forecast about the AFC South because of how I was dissing the Houston Texans. And they're like, defense can win games. Their defense was pretty good last year. So why are you sleeping on them? It's like, because if their defense was that good last year, which, by the way, if you look at their rankings, they were mid. They were ranked 14th, 11th, 13th in some of the categories. I think their highest rank in one of the categories was 9th in the secondary. So that was what that was. But I was like, if defense wins games and their defense was just as good as it's going to be this year, last year, they didn't do spectacularly last year. Yeah. So, I mean, am I that wrong for saying their defense is maybe not up to par? But again, be that as it may. Just looking at how I want to place these teams, I'm going to put the Bills there for now. But again, this is our starting off point. Like, this is where we're starting to look at some of these teams going into the season. Now, as the season plays out, the more information we get, the more the things fluctuate here. That's why nobody ever makes a power ranking in the beginning of the season that's the same at the end of the season. It never happens. This is just what it feels like to us now. And anybody who does, like, you have Mike Florio out there, fucking communist weirdo. You have like Pro Football Focus, and you have all these other sports media places, and rightfully so. ESPN, clearly, they'll put out their power rankings, who people think are their top 10s and top 12s, and they'll rank the league from 1 to 32, and they'll do all that kind of stuff. all they're doing is it by feeling too. They can try to justify it by saying, well, if you look at these numbers from last season, yeah, it's last season. But then they traded and got this player here. Okay, but that's no guarantee that that's going to work or do anything like that. There's no guarantee that Jaden Daniels is going to have a slump like C.J. Stroud did. There's no reason to think that C.J. Stroud can't rebound and bring the Texans great success. There's no reason to think that Jaden Daniels can't do the same thing and have a great sophomore season and not have the slump. There's no reason to think that a rookie quarterback somewhere can't do good, or Caleb Williams is Caleb Williams still going to be bad, or can he go like? We don't know that. We don't know that yet. We can guess. We can see how we feel about it, but that's really the crux of it. Is all of these rankings that we do are based on feelings. So that's what I mean. If somebody wants to say like, well, this organization or this person has a much better power ranking because they put this team da-da-da-da-da, and you put them da-da-da-da-da because that's what you feel. That's what you feel. You didn't even look at stats. Yeah, we do look at some stats, but also this is how we feel. And guess what? The other people who make their power rankings, that's how they feel too. It's all about how do you feel about these teams and these players in this moment. And right now, I think compared to some of the other teams, that's where I'm going to put the Bills. But as the season goes on, I doubt the Bills are going to ever be off this list this year.
They would have to completely.
They would have to have a 3 or 4 game losing streak.
Yeah.
Because again, and I remember last year, I was very high on the Niners, and they started off okay. Well, they played the Jets, so. But they started off okay, and then obviously they started getting injuries and they started losing games. But it still took me like 2 or 3 weeks to get them off my board because I was like they're good, they have talent. But then when all the talent gets hurt and then they just keep on losing games, it's like, well, I can't keep them on there anymore. Yeah. So with the Bill, like I said, for the Bills, I think they're on this board for the long haul. And I'll say that I think most of I'll say the teams in the top 5 for both of us. I think the teams in the top 5 are gonna be there for 18 weeks. Somewhere on this chart, they're gonna be here for 18 weeks. I think from 6 on down, there's gonna be movement. Some teams may be on there, some teams maybe not, depending on how the season goes. We'll see new teams go on there, blah 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 blah. But I really do think that from 5 up, these are the perma teams. These are the teams that at no point during the season are they going to fall out of these rankings. If it kind of feels like a Alabama or Clemson back in the day, not now. Fuck Clemson. Or Ohio State, things like that. It feels like that kind of thing where they're going to be in the top 25 even if they lose 2 or 3 games because they just have that much clout. Yeah. And that much people will still vote for them and say like, well, they're still good, but they got a bad break or whatever, blah blah blah. Like that's what it feels like. Is like those our top 5 teams are the permanent teams here. This is the royalty here. These are the big 5.
The elite.
Yes, this is your Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur, Liverpool, Chelsea kind of. If you're into soccer, doing that kind of analogy. I know you don't give a fuck, but
yeah, that's not a sport. But go ahead.
Jesus Christ, man, don't make me smack you. Come on, Spurs won a trophy last year. We're in the Champions League this year. Come on, baby. Come on, you Spurs. We can do it, baby.
TV show won a trophy.
Yeah, we won the Europa League. What's that?
Listen, that's a sport.
Yes, it is.
A TV show wins a trophy.
What do you mean TV show? What?
Isn't the Spurs the Ryan Reynolds club or whatever?
No, he's Wrexham.
Oh,
they're Wrexham. They're from Wales, and they are currently, I think, in the Championship division, which is 2 divisions lower than the main one, or is it League One? I think League One.
Maybe that's why I don't like soccer. Soccer's like boxing. There's too many freaking belts.
No, there's just different levels, and you get if you've seen people actually say I think somebody said it for baseball. I think it was in the live chat for the Hall of Fame game. It was ELS Hamster. One of you guys were talking about like seeing promotion relegation in baseball would be cool, like the lower teams and like the Pirates and shit. Yeah. Or the Orioles, teams that are just that bad. Like if you finish like in the last 2 of all of Major League Baseball, you get sent down and you play in AAA ball, and then the top 2 teams in AAA ball, they get to move up and play in the major leagues. That's basically what it is. And a lot of people like that. A lot of people like that idea over there,
Sounds good. It's just that there's like 25,000 different leagues.
Yes, no, there are a lot of soccer teams in fucking England.
Back to what I said. It's like boxing. There's too many goddamn belts.
No, it's not. It's not that there's too many belts. Because in boxing you have flyweight and stuff like that. The problem with boxing is there's too many organizations. Like you have the WBF, the WBO, the IBF, the IBO, the AIBCA, whatever the fuck it is. Hamster in the chat says soccer was invented by European ladies to keep them busy while their husbands did the cooking. Yes, good quote from Hank. That's pretty good. King of the Hill's back, by the way. That's pretty cool. What else is there? Oh yeah, I know it's out. I haven't watched it yet. Twisted Metal. Got to check that out. First season was great. This season feels like it's going to be a lot better.
Won't ruin anything for you, but don't eat dinner while you're watching it.
Okay.
I think it's a lot more.
Well, listen. Me and the wife just watched Final Destination Bloodlines while eating dinner. That's just who we are. So, we can watch people's skulls get crushed and be like, "Oh, that's gross." So, we're different people. When you're a horror people, it's just different. It's just different.
Yeah.
What you can do about that? But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our countdown. We're getting so close. We're almost at full completion here, ladies and gentlemen. We have all the way up to 5. That's 8. We have 8 of our 12 picks down, which means we got 4 left, ladies and gentlemen. You know what 4 means? That means a month, and a month from today, from this date right now, we will see the Dallas Cowboys going up against the defending Super Bowl. The defending Super Bowl. Oh, God, I can't. 1 second. The defending Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles. Gotta try to power through. So that's it. We're there. Again, we both have the Packers at 12. Jimbo has the Vikings, Rams, Chargers, Skins, Buccaneers, Broncos, and Lions as his latest team on the countdown. I again have the Packers, Chargers, Redskins, Vikings, Rams, Broncos, Buccaneers, and the Bills. Now, will next week be Jimbo has the Bills and I have the Lions? Who the fuck knows? Again, we've been doing this back and forth shit the entire time here. Let's see if we can get a little change. We've been doing this for 2 months now. Let's get a little change, get a little variety, for the love of God, in the countdown. So that is going to do that for that. Hold on. I want to check something real quick. I want to make sure I check Twitter and make sure that I'm not missing any breaking news before we get off the goddamn air, because that's happened a bunch. We did see Jordan Love destroying the narrative that Aaron Rodgers is an asshole. And saying that he was a really good teammate, really good player there with him, and just watching him, be as great as he is and do what he does and all that kind of stuff. So, really, he took a shit on the media for trying to push that narrative, and said, "Hey, yeah, Aaron's a good guy. Yeah, nothing wrong with that." So. We'll see how the media tries to spin that into Jordan Love. Is he trying to get under Aaron Rodgers' skin? Is he inside his head? They do that shit. We know that.
Dave Meltzer to write that.
Bringing the wrestling. Dude, I'll tell you what. SummerSlam was fun. It was a fun watch. I of the pieces I saw, I only got to see it in piecemeal, unfortunately. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good show. And listen, if you haven't seen this, you've had to have seen it by now, but fucking Brock Lesnar coming out at the end. I popped, dude. Absolute mark out moment. That was pretty cool. So I'm looking at. Plus the main event match was great with Cena and Cody Rhodes. The night 1 main event with Punk and Gunther, and then Seth coming out for the heist of the century too. Fantastic. I really enjoy. Plus, that's going to be a meme forever. The dropping the crutches. It's already a meme. People are already saying, 2 minutes after calling in sick for work and drop the crutches, turn around perfectly healthy. That's fantastic. The Mad Greek in the chat saying, "Here's my hot take. After week 3, there's going to be some aqua and orange on that list." Maybe, because here's the thing. I'll say this for you. The Dolphins are one of those teams that when you expect something from them, they fall flat on their ass. And when you write them off is when they actually start surprising you and doing well. So what Dolphins team are we going to get here? Will Tua stay healthy enough for us to get there? As the president said to Tagovailoa, he's when he's good. When he's healthy, when he's not injured, he's good. So hopefully he stays healthy. He's on the health board now, so he's got to stay good. But when he's good, oh boy, great! One of the best quarterbacks ever seen. It's wonderful.
Here's the only thing I'll say about the Dolphins, and I'll use my experience from last year with the Buffalo Bills. Last year I said they're not going to be anything.
We both said that. We both said that. We said the Bills window was closed. It's done. It's over. You were like, who's their best defensive player? The guy who died? This is going to be a terrible team. Sure enough.
This year, Miami's cornerbacks from last year are all gone. They're all new people now.
Well, you also got Minka back. I say I love Minka. I am convinced. And some people think differently. I think the Dolphins won that trade. I'm sorry. I would rather have Minka Fitzpatrick than Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Just judge me however you will. I would rather have Minka Fitzpatrick than Jalen. Jonnu Smith is whatever. And the Steelers have so many fucking tight ends. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. But maybe they're looking for trade bait for something else. Like, I don't. Maybe they're going to trade for Micah. I don't know. But as far as that goes, like I really thought that like maybe you give Pittsburgh the win because they got two pieces, but man, getting rid of Minka is I don't know, man. I don't know. And yes, ELS, your Green Bay Blizzard from the Indoor Football League, making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think it's like their second or third straight year making it there. They beat the Tulsa, not just beat the Tulsa Oilers, they fucking beat the shit out of them. Jesus Christ. How are you in the playoffs and you suck that bad, Tulsa? What the fuck are you doing? But they're going to be playing against Quad City on Saturday, so all best of the luck to the Green Bay Blizzard and to our good friend ELS there in the chat. Jimbo, any final words before we get the hell out of here on this beautiful Monday?
Just that I was thinking about making a tush push joke about the Blizzard, but I won't. I like ELS. Good luck to the Blizzard.
Something's wrong with you. You're never that magnanimous. I'm
new leaf. Granted, it's my 1,000th leaf, but
I was going to say I'm very concerned right now because I'm waiting for the other. I'm waiting for it.
Okay. How I really want to end it is I really hope the Kansas City Chiefs play well in the beginning of the season so they could crack my top 12, so I don't have to hear you crying about it.
If you don't have the Chiefs in your top 12, something's wrong with you. You can't be that crazy. You can't be that crazy. You can't be that crazy.
Yes, you got to tune in.
I get you're gonna have to see what happens with the rest of the countdown because if you don't have the Chiefs in your anywhere in your top 12, I may lose my mind on you because that's just silly. But yes, this has been a countdown, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. If you liked any part of this show, and I certainly hope you do, please like, share, subscribe. Helps us out tremendously, especially if you're new to this channel. Hopefully, the Mad Greek, you gave us a little bit. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Helps us out a ton. If you want to help us out in a little bit more tangible fashion, we have a link for our donation station and our merch store, which has new merch in there all the time. Go check it out. We have those links in the description below this video. This has been a fantastic show, and thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you on Wednesday for the main one. For your good... lost my way. For your good friend Jimbo, I'm your boy King. This has been Stay Tuned Sports and Countdown. See you Wednesday.